These are 8 proven methods that you could run to make money on social media, and I got insider info from people who are actually successful in each one of these businesses, and not one person in this video sells a course. I just want to note that half of the people have already dropped off this video, and about 99% of you will not act on any of these methods. So to the 1% that actually try, it has never been easier. Starting off with probably the best method to make the most amount of money. Building a personal brand for e-commerce. A personal brand gives you instant leverage to your first 1,000 customers, and physical products could just be one of the best vehicles to make money. Take men's grooming, for example. It's a $95 billion industry, and to capture just 0.1% of that market, not 1%, 0.1% means basically $100 million. This is Lance. He's 22 years old and he's doing exactly that. He started Base Body Works, which is a men's hair care brand. In just 3 years, one of his products sells every second of every single day. They now have over 500,000 customers. Here's his advice for anyone wanting to start today. First, you're going to want to choose a niche that you have genuine expertise in.
I didn't even want to fucking talk about hair. I wanted to be a Minecraft streamer, and then I wanted to be a fitness influencer, and then I was just like, ah, fuck it, I'll talk about hair, like I said before, because it's like, I'm gonna be a barber. And it was doing well, so I just kept doing it.
Focus on what you already know rather than chasing trends. For Lance, it meant leveraging his expertise in cutting hair since he was 14 years old. Next, he says to create content that both educates and entertains at the same time, because it's the best way to build trust with an audience.
I basically didn't make money for 2 years, and I was just providing value, and a lot of it was repetitive, but again, it's short form content. People don't even remember what they scrolled 10 minutes ago. So you just need to provide value. I was providing a bunch of value. People were trusting me with everything hair related.
So basically create content that solves a specific problem for your core audience. For Lance, giving people tips on how to style their hair and what products to avoid, he established himself as one of the most trusted people in the men's hair space. The biggest part of that was him just continuing to post consistently for a long time.
I basically never missed a day in the past like 3 years because I fucking enjoy this shit. So that's the other thing. It's like, find your niche on something you actually enjoy. Otherwise you're literally not going to stick to it. When you have the lows, you're not pulling views, you're going to get in your head and it's over, bro. You're going to give up.
This is one of the hardest parts because you need to avoid shiny object syndrome and actually stick to the core thing that you're doing while you're not really making money. Lance stayed truly focused on just his niche.
And I would get so like, I would actually get a little bit envious. I'm like, fuck, bro, why are these guys blowing up? How they pass me? They haven't been doing this shit. Like, I've been in the trenches, I'm logged in, and then irrelevant. 6 months later, irrelevant.
Once you've built an audience for yourself, you need to then select a product. You should have some expertise based on the niche that you picked, so you should be able to identify some holes in the market that you can solve.
I looked at all the natural brands and I was like, okay, good formula. Why do you have artificial fragrance? Why do you have phenoxyethanol? Why do you have parabens? All these potential irritants. Like, can I just make one without these ingredients and have the formula be super, super clean and super aesthetically pleasing?
He then reached out to a bunch of manufacturers to see who could produce his specific formula. Since people already recognized Lance's face when they saw an ad for Base, they were more likely to convert than, say, a brand that had no organic presence. Every single drop, they reinvested profits into more influencer deals, into more UGC content, into more paid ads, and into larger inventory. Over time, that snowballed into selling a product every single minute of every single day. And with 500,000 customers and an average product cost of $25, you can do the math. It's like if you have to sell something, then the product's not good enough. Or if you have to feel like you're selling, then the product's not good enough.
Like, let the product speak for itself. Talk about it, but don't be like, oh, guys, like, okay, we ran ads like this, like flash sales and stuff, but like, that shouldn't be your content.
Lance's whole approach is to never feel like you're selling anything to your audience. Instead, he's simply putting people on to products he actually believes in. This approach creates customers that trust you rather than feeling like they're being marketed to. So choose a niche you have genuine expertise in, create consistent value-driven content to build trust, then develop products to solve their problems. This method may be slow, but it's the best for making the most amount of money. This next one has been one of the most stable methods and will continue to be around for a long time. Faceless YouTube long form. This method is when you make videos without putting your face on it, designed for a specific topic that will get enough views to generate AdSense. The cool part about this method is you can make videos one time and get paid for years after. This is sacred. He's 18 years old and has been doing this successfully for years. He started off with a Lego channel, but has since then expanded to many other faceless channels, and he makes around 100K a month off them. This is exactly what he said to do if you're just starting.
The easiest place that you can start off with is usually clip-based compilations. Now, you can't literally just take a bunch of videos and upload them to YouTube because YouTube will not consider that original content. But what you can do is you can add narration, you can add commentary, you can add your own opinions, you can add extra context to the clips and sort of edit that together. And that way people will click and watch for the primary thing, which is actually the clips themselves. And then you can just add to that with your narration and everything.
This is basically a legal way to take other people's content, and I fully support it. They will be playing that clip in a future court case. In that basic format, you could probably do the work yourself, but if you want to immediately hire people, you can find editors and thumbnail designers on Twitter, YT Jobs, or Fiverr, or if the job is basic enough, you can hire a hardworking friend to do the task. I then asked him, how do you even decide on what channel to do?
I would do a bunch of research on YouTube and find a particular niche that a lot of people are interested in, but doesn't exactly have a high quality standard. And then I would essentially make videos similar to what's going on in the niche, but just make the videos better, put more effort into the videos.
He said, once you find a niche that you're generally interested in, think about what that audience might also like.
So for example, I would look at an airplane documentary channel like Green Dot Aviation, and I would think about, okay, what would this audience also be interested in? And let's say they would be interested in car content or tank content. I would then go into those niches and look for content there. And if the quality of the content wasn't as good as Green Dot Aviation, and it was just low quality stuff, but clearly there was an audience for it, I would then make videos similar to Green Dot Aviation and essentially just make it in a new niche where there's a full big audience that's untapped.
Ideally, you're going to want to choose a topic that you already understand. That way you can spend more time making good videos instead of figuring out if what you're saying literally makes any sense. After tremendous glazing, he did share the Krabby Patty formula, which is basically iterate on your last video.
You're not going to find a single human being on the planet who's going to fail like YouTube if they're improving 10% every single video over a long enough time horizon. That's literally the blueprint to succeeding in this.
Your analytics will show you exactly where you need to improve.
If you see your analytics not being that good, if you see the retention being bad, if you see the CTR being bad, try something new. Maybe try something new with the intros. If the drop off after 30 seconds is really high, then make the first 30 seconds of your next video different.
I then asked him what the biggest reason why some people fail at this.
Number one thing is, yeah, people quit early, and then they're also have that entitlement of like, well, in my video not getting views, I worked so hard on this. You always have to have the mentality of like, I messed up making this video. I did something wrong here. How do I improve from it?
The second thing he mentioned is trying to do too many channels at once. You really only have a chance if you're doing one at a time, because one channel is 1,000 different things, and if you try and do 3, you're completely cooked. It's simple. Keep trying to improve on your last video, and over a long enough time horizon, you will make money. This next one is definitely underrated, especially with the threat of TikTok getting banned. Instagram theme pages. Running Instagram pages has been a method since the dawn of time, but it's become way more profitable again. This is basically when you make a page that's dedicated to a certain genre and you curate clips to then repost onto your page. This is Dylan, a 27-year-old who helps build fanfics that has paid out over $100 million to creators, but more importantly, as a side hustle, runs Instagram theme pages. In the past 6 months, he's built the pages to do over 300 million views a month. He's a bit of a gatekeeper, so he won't tell me exactly how much he's making, but I've heard of people selling their Instagram pages for 6 figures. This is the advice he gave for someone wanting to start today. The first step is to zoink what is already working. Find a profitable niche. To do that, you're going to want to search key terms in the search bar like movies, TV shows, comedy, and scroll through those pages. Ideally, you're going to find a niche with dedicated fans, where there's ads already running, and where it's easy to get content.
Find a page that is doing well, and then if you have half of a brand, you're gonna see the most obvious optimizations.
The best optimizations are posting more frequently, making clearer branding, adding branding to the actual post so people know what this page is about, and then doing some carousel posts instead of just reels, because most users spend more time on the carousel posts, which sends a better sign to the algo to get you some fucking views. Once you found a niche and what improvements you want to make to it, you want to make consistent templates.
Imagine I'm doing a King of the Hill TV show where people are gonna see that on Instagram Reels. They're gonna go, oh my God, I love King of the Hill. I have to follow this page, right? You just get a bunch of the YouTube compilations of King of the Hill. You give those to a VA. You explain to them, hey, go clip this. There's a software called Snap Downloader, which you can then just immediately clip anything from YouTube or Twitter. You can quickly show them, hey, this is where to find the content. And then they post the content, but first they do a Canva template. And that Canva template is gonna have above it something that says like, this page only posts King of the Hill clips.
You or a hired VA then post these clips. You can do this whole process on your own, but Dylan does not recommend it.
If you are thinking, I'm gonna make a theme page and I'm gonna sit at home and I'm gonna find the content and then I'm gonna post and then I'm gonna engage, you are an idiot. That is gonna take up so much time, or instead, If you work with a team of VAs and you give them the tools, the instructions, you'll quickly find a super cost-effective method to having them grow everything.
You can hire VAs from platforms like Upwork or onlinejobs.ph for like $5 to $6 an hour. He said to create detailed Loom videos explaining each step of the process so they can follow along. He said the more instructions you provide them with, the better. That way you can spend more time on strategy and starting new pages. By far the coolest part about this method is once you have a big page, you can use it to spawn in another.
It's not mandatory, but it's a huge growth hack. And it's kind of the reason why you become unstoppable. I mean, it's just a snowball effect. If you can figure out, okay, this page probably has a similar audience and sensibility to this page, then what you start doing is you start collab posting the two, or you start getting the Instagram stories to start showing the different pages that you know the audience is going to resonate with.
The key to making the most money off this, besides choosing the right niche in the first place, is to be patient. Ideally, you have a few pages all built off a similar audience so you can leverage all of them.
Imagine what happens when you get one of your pages, somebody reaches out, they go, hey, I'm doing a coaching course. I'd love to make something happen. You go, I bet you didn't know I also run 100 different pages. So let's come up with a way bigger opportunity.
The most common ways to make money from ads are from online coaches, e-commerce, watermarking where you put a company's logo in the videos, or everybody's favorite, OnlyFans ads.
The biggest way people fail is because they do OnlyFans ads.
This next method is probably one of the easiest on the entire list, YouTube Shorts. This is when you make faceless shorts and get paid from AdSense. Shorts creators can start getting views pretty quickly and start making consistent money after 1 to 2 months. This is Luke. He's 19 and has started 3 separate businesses that have generated him $100K a month profit each. He helped create Slam Dunk, which now has over 500 million views, and since then he's helped a ton of other creators start their shorts channel. The first step in succeeding in shorts is finding a niche that has a high enough view ceiling for you to make money.
To find a channel where you can actually be doing like 50 million views a month, there's probably 3 methods. 1, look it up on YouTube and see if there's people that are hitting. 2, train a YouTube Shorts algorithm based on the videos you want to make. 3, look it up on view stats and check the top 100 highest viewed pages.
The key is finding a big enough market where you can apply the Zoink and Twist method, which is basically finding what's working already and changing it by 5 to 10% using your own unique style. Once you figured out what your niche is, Luke recommends doing this specific format that's really good for beginners.
The main format that I run and like a lot of people run, like faceless, just doing voiceovers with 1-word text popping up on screen. That format, when you're like adding your own commentary and your own edits, YouTube determines that it's fair use. So like if you pull 100 million views, you can monetize all of that money on shorts. Like you don't get copyrighted for it.
This approach basically lets you steal popular content by adding your own voice and opinion. Someone like Mr. Beast spends millions of dollars on his video, and you can just take clips from it and talk about it and still appeal to his massive audience. This specific Mr. Beast niche is a little bit competitive now, but there's plenty of other fan bases that you can do the same thing with, or really any other topic that a lot of people are really interested in. The great part about this method is it's basically free if you know how to edit, and the barrier to entry is a lot smaller than people realize.
This entire interview I've had open like this random Fortnite YouTuber that I used to make videos with like 3 years ago, and he's telling me he's like making 7K a month just posting like Fortnite memes. And then I have another guy that reviews food and he's doing 10 or 15K a month. I have another guy that just talks about the facts that I talked about before. He's doing 10K a month. There's probably 100 plus people that I know that are making like $5,000 to $15,000, $20,000 a month just on shorts.
The skills you develop creating shorts pretty much apply to every other method on this entire list, so it is a good starting point.
Out of all of these methods, there's more stories here of like, if you're a beginner, this is probably the place to start because you can make money, you can get into the consideration cycle. It puts you with this group of people that are also trying to grind and make videos.
Luke says the blueprint to succeeding in this is to just slightly improve your last video.
Like, okay, well, 60% of people clicked off in the first 4 seconds. Maybe my hook was bad. And every video, like before you make your next video, you should get the analytics of your last one and be like, okay, this is what I think I could do better. Do better the next video. And then when you make 100 videos, you're just going to have the best videos in the niche. There's no way that you don't.
He recommends creating a checklist of exactly what could have been better in your previous video so you can apply all of those learnings to your future video. By doing this over and over again, it's inevitable that you're going to be making good videos. He did mention that shorts is very momentum driven and to not get discouraged with your early videos not getting a ton of views, because once you get momentum, all of your earlier videos will start to get a ton of views.
It was our first 30 videos or something like that would flatline at 5,000 views. And then now those same videos have 5 to 10 million views. All of these videos that are getting no views, they don't actually have no views forever. You just have to get momentum on your channel to get them to get views. views.
Because of this, getting tens of millions of views is not as daunting as it sounds. YouTube has 2.9 billion monthly users, which is half of the people in the world with internet access, so trust me, you can get that amount of views. This is a great method for people who want to tangibly make anywhere from 2 to 20K a month. You're not going to be ultra wealthy from YouTube Shorts, but it is very easy to start. So pick an English-speaking niche with a high view ceiling, slightly improve or tweak on what's already working, consistently improve on your last video, and actually stick with it long enough to give it a real chance to succeed. 3 months of daily posting on Shorts is either going to net you consistent income or a foundational skill set that you can apply to any business model. This next one is one of my personal favorites, and it's great if you're first starting out. Making TikTok Shop UGC content. This method involves creating videos for products on TikTok Shop that pay you every time you drive a sale. TikTok is pushing the fuck out of these. I swear this is like every other video on my feed right now. The great part about this method is you can post videos that'll continue to pay you months later. This is Kelly. She does this and makes 10 to 15K per month selling products on TikTok Shop. This is exactly what she said to do if you're just starting. First, you're gonna want to choose a product to actually sell. She said to start with something you either already use or have a good understanding of. The more they're trending, the better.
I literally started with products that I have at home. I mean, I'm a girl at the end of the day, and I literally do makeup every day. I do skincare every day, and I do like fashion every day. I genuinely took the easiest thing possible that I actually do in my everyday life and tried to do content based around that.
When you're looking for products, you're gonna want to find something with a good commission. She usually does things that are about $3.50 and up per sale. Although she did say her first viral video was for a product where she got a $3 commission, she posted it 9 months ago and she still gets sales to this day. The key here is to create videos targeting very specific pain points that product actually solves. For example, if it's makeup related, she'll target people who usually struggle with products being either too dry or too oily, and then she'll position this product as something that solves that. She also mentioned that creating controversy in your video is great for driving sales.
Controversy really works to spark discourse, and like that's the most important thing. My most viral video is like at like 5-point-something million, but I literally opened up with saying like,
I will never like those eyelashes that look like spiders are coming out of your eyes.
This method is all about posting a crazy amount of videos. It's not about making super ultra high quality, it's more about volume. Kelly posts about 5 times a day targeting these specific pain points.
the more you put out there, it's like the more you're gonna get in return, and it's kind of like planting seeds instead of like, it's not going to pop off the first hour that you post it, but honestly, maybe 2 months later it will.
She said the biggest obstacle with this is simply just getting started.
Just make a video. Like, make a video. Everyone wants to be perfect and like make it beautiful and like the most appealing, but honestly, that's not realistic. You have to just fucking make a video, get it out there, and like with analytics and time, you'll learn what works and how to get better. But like, don't analysis paralysis yourself. That's the worst thing to do.
Everyone wants instant gratification, but it really is a momentum game. She started in May and didn't get her first sale till mid-July. But ever since then, it's been a snowball effect that continues to grow. So post consistently, target specific pain points, don't be afraid to get in a little controversy, and focus on volume. You're basically creating ads for products in the greatest discovery engine in human history, and you get paid every time they put your content in front of the right person. This next method a lot of people aren't going to like, but I'm not holding anything back in this video. OnlyFans management. OnlyFans management is a catch-all term for marketing and running a person's OnlyFans account. Whether you like it or not, OnlyFans generates $6.6 billion a year, so there's a lot of room for people to help others make money with it. I'm not endorsing this business model, but I am going to show it to you. This is Owen, a 22-year-old that is literally an IRL GTA character. He's gained over 20 million subscribers and built an empire behind some of the biggest OnlyFans girls. They made $6 million since the start of this year. So for beginners, there's basically 2 aspects to this business. One is marketing, which basically involves growing that person's Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. The other is account management, which is the technical side, which is blasting out messages and actually running the account. Believe it or not, the girls are not running the account. You can specialize in either side and eventually do both, but the best way is to just start with one. Owen says the hardest part is establishing enough credibility to get your first creator.
It's gotta be hard if you're trying to do this business model starting from zero. Like, the best thing that you can do is like buy an Instagram meme page for $500. You have to have some sort of like validation for yourself as a business.
He says in the beginning, you're gonna have to fake it till you make it a little bit. So be fully prepared to do everything you can to actually execute, because if you don't do a good job, you're pretty much done. Once you found somebody to work with, you're then gonna need to start the marketing. I asked Owen what people should post.
Just copy the best. Nothing's hidden. None of this is private. What social media are they posting on? How many times are they posting per day? What content are they making? Like, just fucking do the exact same thing.
He's gotten over 20 million subscribers and he follows the same framework every time. When they decide what videos to film that week, he splits them into 2 categories: what's working now and what's something new that they can test.
I'm constantly experimenting with new formats while the current format is still working, so I can rinse and repeat. Like, if something works, I'll do the exact same thing 500,000 fucking times until it stops. Like, until it's rinsed for every single fucking ounce of view that could come out of it, I'm gonna keep doing it.
At this point, Owen does everything in-house, and if you have somebody small, you could probably do the messaging yourself.
Like, if you are managing an OnlyFans account, all you have to do is, you schedule mass messages and you schedule posts like any other social media, and then you have to have a chatter on the account to do messaging. Like, you could find somebody to do online chatting on onlinejobs.ph, or there's Telegram channels, or like that shit you could find on social media. Like, you could find somebody for a couple dollars an hour to do the chatting.
He said the number one reason why some people fail at this business model is because they treat it like a side hustle.
Fuck all the skill set. You can know everything about social media. You could be like literally AI, do everything right. But if you can't get along with somebody, like, I have met everyone I work with, like, I have met their moms, I've gone to people's hometowns, and it was like that from week 2.
At the end of the day, OnlyFans management can make a lot of money, but I would look very deeply into all of the risks associated with it before you jump into it. I'm not liable for what happens next. This next method is capitalizing on one of the biggest opportunities right now in e-commerce: launching products on TikTok Shop. This is either when you drop ship a product or develop your own and drive traffic to it all on TikTok. TikTok is getting so big, they're trying to compete with Amazon and building warehouses all throughout the US. They're a multi-bajillion-dollar company now that wants to win social e-commerce, so when a billion-dollar company needs your business model to work, you're probably in a good position. This is Costify, a 17-year-old that has generated nearly $70,000 from launching his own products on TikTok Shop. This is what he said to do if you're a beginner. The first step is actually getting on TikTok Shop, which is only available in the US, UK, or some parts of Southeast Asia. Costify is not in any of those countries, so we partnered with somebody who is, and they have a deal where that person gets a percentage of the revenue.
So you should probably make a contract that would really protect you from any loss of funds or any scam like that, and then you can just run it up. That's what I did.
Once you have that figured out, you need to then choose a product. He recommends using sites like Fastmoss, where you can see products that are in demand but don't have a lot of competition. I asked him how much money you should invest into your first batch of inventory, and he said this.
The first product that I ran up successfully, the one that I covered in my video and got like 70K in sales with, that was the little crochet set hamsters, and that product cost me like fucking $5 per pop. You don't even have to order inventory in advance. A thing called Amazon dropshipping to TikTok Shop. So you list any products you want, you just need to make sure you're listed on Amazon with fast shipping, and then once you start getting orders, you go to Amazon and you fulfill it with Prime delivery and ship it out to the customers that purchased it from you with a markup.
Doing this lets you validate the demand before investing a bunch of money in inventory, so it's way less risky. Make sure to look at TikTok Shop's rules, because if you miss deadlines, you will get violations and they could kick you off. I asked him why the biggest reason why people fail, and he says a lot of people try and do copyrighted products. He even tried to do it and invested $1,400, and his store got taken down in 24 hours and he just lost all the money. So don't do that. Once you have your product figured out, the most important part of this method is having a plan to actually market it. Costify uses his own personal brand to get UGC creators, but if you're starting from scratch, you can use TikTok Shop's affiliate center to get UGC creators, or you can just reach out to a bunch of people manually. I would also be fully ready to make videos yourself just in case. The strategy is to just over-incentivize UGC creators. Because they get hit from so many different brands, your commission needs to stand out.
Literally 20 to 25% of the revenue to creators, because it's incentivized them like crazy and they really want to make more videos and get more sales. The average, I feel like, is 15. Never gone that low. I always do 20 to 25.
He was losing $9 a sale at first because the commission was so high, but it snowballed into 20K profit in one product. So this method basically comes down to picking a product that's in demand but doesn't have a ton of competition and having a good plan to market it. TikTok Shop is promoting the fuck out of anything that has a product in it right now. I can't get them off my page. So if you stick with as many high quality videos as you can create and do volume, you should be successful. In a world where creators are somehow influencing elections, they do need people on their team to help them. This next one is probably the best for living a cool lifestyle: talent management. Talent management is basically helping creators grow and make money off their platform. This is Thomas, a handsome young man that has been doing this for 6 years already and is behind a lot of the creators you've probably seen before. He's constantly running around the world or at local Costco's doing his thing, but he makes really good money and he lives a cool life doing it. This is his advice on how to start. So the first step in talent management management is deciding if you want to do it on your own or join an existing agency. Most successful managers would probably tell you to join a company first.
I would probably do cold outreach, but I'd also join a small company. When there's not a lot of team members, but you're doing a lot of big stuff, you get to touch everything in the business. Whereas if you joined like a big company from ground one, you're going to work in the mailroom for like 3 years, then be an assistant for another 3 years. Now I'm 10 years later, I could have, already doing stuff that's actually popping at a smaller company.
You basically get to use the company's validation and resources while you learn the ropes. This should help you build your own personal brand connections and relationships with creators that lead to your first sign.
I was working with a small agency that did a lot of brand deals. Through giving creators deals, you start to see like which talent brands are picking most of, and these creators are getting a lot of brand interest, and maybe the creator doesn't have manager time. It's a kind of an easy combo to be like, yo, can we work more like formally, more together, and like, can I manage you?
It could be hard to get your first sign, especially if you're trying to fight for those big existing creators, because they probably already have managers. So the best thing to do is to find new creators.
Up and comers, I mean, you just stay on, got to get your scroll time up. Like consistent viewership is big. If a creator's just starting out and they have like 50K followers on TikTok, but their videos are each getting like 1 million views each, and they're doing that consistently, like that's a great sign.
At my last company, Fixated, I was doom scrolling on TikTok and came across Sketch when he had 3K subscribers on YouTube. We were then able to sign him before he went on his generational run.
I'm not short, I'm not fat, but I'm just as smart, and that's what I'm gonna do.
So scrolling TikTok can actually pay off. Thomas explained once you've signed a talent, you should focus on quality over quantity.
I rep only like 9 or 10 creators because I want to give them really good service, really good relationship. Some managers out there manage 50 creators, up 200 creators, and they only talk to them when there's a brand deal. Not that that's bad, but some creators in that 50 to 200 list might want someone that's more like close-knit.
I asked him the biggest reason why somebody could fail at this.
You have to be really selective with who you choose to work with. If you're going to send 10 emails to lock in a deal, why do that with a creator that's only charging $500 when you could be doing that with one that charges 5,000? You always have to think from the brand's perspective, right? And again, why you should start from the brand side. You get to hear how they're spending, what they're considering when they're trying to spend with talent. So then when you go to actually rep talent, you can be like, I'm only going to rep talent that I know it fits the brand's criteria, like from what I learned when I was working with brands.
So start off by working with an agency so you can learn the ropes and basically get all the connects. Be strategic about what creators you sign, and make sure to actually build genuine relationships with the talent, because there's always a manager promising more deals, and if you don't have a good relationship, you might be cooked. Your first sign is going to be the hardest, but once you have one, it's a lot easier to get your next, and that kind of snowballs. And most importantly, put everybody in a 360 deal and juice them for every dollar that they have. This is the part of the video where I increase your chances by 50% in any of these methods. Step 1, get a co-founder. Doing it by yourself is just way harder. Having somebody to bounce ideas off of and fail next to allows you guys to share insights with each other, and it makes it so you go 2 times as fast. Step 2, get through the hard part. No method is ever as easy as you think it is, but I promise you the pain of regret is way worse than the pain of actually sticking with it. So at some point, you gotta fucking do it. Whether you're successful or not in any of these, it doesn't matter, because the skill sets you're gonna learn are gonna better set you up for the time where you actually win. The only failure is doing absolutely nothing. There's new methods spawning in at all times, so if you guys want to stay in the cutting edge of everything that Luke and I are finding in social media for just general ways to make money, we made a newsletter so it's just easier for you guys to get it. Rather than making the super overproduced video that costs $1,000 to my editor to make, we can just give you all the free sauce. So we created the sauce letter, and we won't spam you with emails unless there's something actually interesting, because I know what it feels like to get spammed with some random bullshit in your email. So we won't do that. Subscribe, be the first link in the description, and yeah, or don't. I don't know. Shit.